a statistical argument, people wanted to have a source for it. 4 experiments confirmed that women's automatic in-group bias is remarkably stronger than men's investigated explanations. And this is from PubMed. It's a government website. So I just want to make sure that the thing that I was saying is actually true. You can look at it and research. It's very thoroughly researched. I've looked at this myself. And this doesn't mean that women are stupid and bad and they're going to steal all your money. It doesn't mean that women are inferior to men, but this is just simply that it's something that exists and it should be taken into consideration. Like, this is real. It is real. Here's the proof that it's real. There it is. Now we're in reality. That's all I'm really trying to get at. Thanks for changing my life, exposing me to Pal World. Oh, I thought you were going to say changing my life and exposing me to being an incel. But yeah, there's that too, right?
Americans think children will be traumatized by seeing naked women?
Well, do Americans, like, imagine what do you think would happen if she said this in response to a man exposing himself to a child in a park? That's clearly what people think. What are we talking about here? Of course kids can be traumatized by seeing nudity. I'm losing my fucking mind. That's awfully specific. Well, yeah, because that would make it like an omega sex crime. And what I'm saying is, like, the context is obviously totally different, but the action is the same. It's, again, like these girls, and this is, you remember what I said before about, like, people that take your argument to an absurd level and then argue against it? But the funny thing is that whenever this girl tries to do this, like, straw man ad absurdum argument, she's still wrong.
Do they not realize those same kids can and do simply go to porn sites to jerk off? Shu, I hate to tell you this, but the average kid is seeing way worse stuff online all the time. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Let's be real. This ain't nothing to...
It's not, but, like, at the same time, I'm not really going to have a tremendous amount of, like, respect and support for somebody who is focusing on the molehill before the mountain. You're talking about Twitch being a problem when you have porn sites and their top video game search terms are children's games. That's the mountain. Let's talk about that, and then we can think about Twitch afterwards. I don't... Like, it just seems like such a distorted... Like, a distorted chain of events. A distorted chain of priorities.
Kids nowadays... I grew up with the internet as a kid/teen and was able to find stuff back in 2002.
Stuff.
Where now it's literally so easy to find stuff and most teens have phones. I don't think they would be fazed by this content. Again, that is a bad thing. Maybe it shouldn't be that way. I hate this whole,
right.
Well, that's just the way things are attitude. That's how you get people coming...
Well, no, I disagree with that. I think that accepting reality and saying that's just the way things are is actually extremely good and positive for most cases. I think that there are a lot of things that you can rage against the machine as much as you want, but the machine isn't going to care about you. Like, we all talk about question marks. No, what are we doing question marks for? Are you guys stupid? So let me explain. We all know that income inequality in the country, in the US, is at the worst that it's ever been at. Like, we talk about the Gilded Age being like an indicator of like rot in culture, and we're worse than that right now. Just in general, people have less purchasing power. The worker has been removed from ownership of their labor. They no longer have any ownership of it at all. Productivity and labor has completely diverged. It started in the 70s. People can't afford houses. You can't afford health care. The entire world is just awful for people now in a lot of ways. But we can acknowledge that. But at the same time, it doesn't fucking matter, does it? Because you can think that, and you can believe that, and you can know that to be the truth, but whenever you wake up tomorrow, nothing is going to fucking change. And you have to live in the world that you exist in, not the world that you want to exist in. Like, that doesn't mean you can't move towards that direction, but it's still stupid and naive and also harmful for you in a lot of cases to try to do something and try to live in a world that doesn't even exist. That's what I'm saying. And so, like, I think it's very healthy to just, like, accept things are bad and try to live within that world. Because, again, it's real. Easier said than done? No, it's not. It's extremely easily done. You're doing it right now. We all are.
Up with these head-ass ideas, like making for kids, because kids will find porn anyway. There were so many replies to me that were like, I was watching hardcore since I was 10, and I turned out fine. Your Twitter likes are public, sir. No, you didn't. You don't see a problem with this because you are extremely desensitized, and honestly, so am I.
Yeah.
I'm no swerf. I'm no...
Yeah, I remember people telling me, like, I remember they're like, oh, Goblin Slayer Episode 1 really traumatized me. I didn't even know what they were talking about. Like, I've had people, like, grab my dick at conventions, and it's like, it's just another handshake. Never think about it at all. Yes, it is what it is. Really? Yeah.
Worker, exclusionary, radical feminist, because first of all,
yeah,
I'm not a
that's
feminist.
Right.
It's like our culture has become so overly sexual that it's not even sexual anymore. Our culture is just becoming desensitized to, and that's not a good thing. I guess I just miss the days of tasteful thigh. Because of this oversaturation, many in Gen Z are apparently craving normal relationships on the big screen. They're bored of seeing sex everywhere. To them, sex has been available one Google click away since they were like 4 years old. And it's having really negative outcomes.
No, this is true. Like, how many of you guys is like, what was one of the main concerns with Rings of Power? That they were going to add unnecessary romance plots. And this was a big criticism for The Hobbit. Because there was an unnecessary romance plot. So yeah, I think so. Halo show, another great example. So we all know what we're talking about here.
Like, the amount of grown-ass millennials calling Gen Zers prudes and puritans is another word I saw. It's just really fucking weird. Like, I'm sorry we're all addicted.
Well, I don't think this is a generation war. I think that people feel this way a lot. I think that's why so many of us love Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I think actually one of the timeless things about Lord of the Rings is the fact that it is completely pure. Like, in 1,000 years, people will know about Lord of the Rings.
Maybe the younger generation is trying to tell us something. Someone called me a prude over this. Me. Just like with video games when I was a kid. Boys are mad because girls are playing in a space they've deemed theirs and are kicking their asses at it.
Well, they're not kicking their asses at it, I'll tell you that. None of these content creators are really that big at all. So that's not even true. This is another, this seems like a girl that has a chip on her shoulder.
So first of all, girls have already been in these spaces playing video games for years.
Yeah.
There was no issue, so it's kind of weird to be like, sorry, we're kicking your asses, boys. Like, kicking their asses at what? Being naked on camera? Being naked on camera in front of minors? I just think it's interesting and ironic how, like, 10 years ago, these same people were fighting to keep sexualized women out of video games, and now they are fighting to keep sexualized women on Twitch, a website for video games. It has come full circle.
I actually don't think that that's necessarily a contradiction, because video games are seen as men sexualizing women, and women sexualizing women is different. It's like, again, a person owning their own sexuality. But I do think that, like, they're very, very close, let's be honest.
If only Anita was here to see it. Also, imagine flipping the genders in your stupid fake fan fiction. Imagine a grown-ass man coming into, like, a female space. I don't know, what's a female space? The Stanley Cup fandom. Those cups. Imagine a man coming into the fandom.
A cup to match every out. What is this? Some form of normie retardation I didn't know about? Oh, thank God I never leave the house.
Of these cups, dangling his ding-dong around, and people are like, can you stop? That's really weird. And he's just like, oh wow, you just hate men. Like, f you, go away. These women aren't stealing anything from the men. If anything, they're stealing from the women. Because the more Twitch becomes a website for this, the more this shit rises to the top. And the more normal streamers, especially women, who don't do this, sink to the bottom. If I was a female, wait, I am a female. If I was a female gamer grinding my ass off in this male-dominated space, the same way a lot of men do, and seeing what female content rises to the top of this website, I would be pretty demoralized. Look anywhere.
Sure, she's right. It's easier to get noticed as a girl if you use your body. Sure. Now, are there exceptions? Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the softcore porn type content has a very low ceiling, but it also has a much higher floor. Like, you don't see any of these girls in, like, the top streams. No. It's mainly, like, other, like, VTubers. Like, you've got other girls like Pokimane, Valkyrae, Amaru. Like, a lot of these people are not making content like this, and they're the ones who are the top female streamers. I do think, however, that there is a similar argument that can be made that's better. And that argument is that by having the, like more pornographic type content, you condition viewers into expecting that from all female streamers. Now, is this necessarily those female streamers' fault? Yeah, you can debate that. But at the end of the day, this is an outcome that occurs.
Not just Twitch. Sex work starts to appear like the only successful avenue a woman can go down. In 2014, there was a lot of talk about...
Well, it is in a lot of cases whenever your market is only men. Because people watch streams to relate to people. And it's hard to relate to somebody who's a different gender than you. That's the way it works. So yeah, it's a lot easier for women to be successful on Twitch if they are hot, because what do guys want out of girls? Well, they want hot girls. Wow!
Harassment towards women online. And my answer would always be like, just trolls, just block them, just ignore them. They're trying to get a rise out of you, which is still true, but a lot of these people aren't trolls anymore. They're your followers, your friends, your allies. You see, sexual harassment has evolved. 15 years ago, it was anonymous trolls entering your chat like, show me your tits. Now it's Jeff, he, him, politely asking if you're interested in joining OnlyFans. You know, show me your tits. For money. What is stopping me from taking off my shirt and making a ton of money? Besides, a father figure. Pretty much nothing. Any woman can do this.
Sure.
Which is why so many women do this. The pressure is insane.
Well, they can't. Any woman can't do this. This girl's really hot. And so, obviously, that's why she could do it. Most girls can't do it because they're ugly. Because nobody wants to pay money to see them because they're ugly. You go to Walmart, I'd pay money not to see it.
For young women nowadays, and I honestly feel bad for them. I do. I feel bad for women. What is this? What is this strange feeling? But from their point of view, from what they've been told, society is going to sexualize them anyway. You're a woman online and you don't sexualize yourself?
This is an interesting point. I haven't really heard somebody say this before. She's saying that because there's so much messaging that women are being sexualized without their consent, it's leading them to sexualize themselves. I've never heard this. This is smart.
Okay, we got AI for that. Also, while I'm editing this, I just noticed that was an ad. That's an ad on Twitter. It says ad in the corner.
Of course, it's somebody doing a random ad. You know what Elon should do? Is like one day what he should do is just change all of the people who had the NFT profile pictures to this. Like, doesn't this just like... I feel like that's so much better.
Corner. Dystopian. Why not simply take the power back and make money off the inevitable? It's getting weird out there. Men and women are being pushed and pulled in so many different directions. Women are being sold this idea that they should be independent girl bosses who don't need no man. And if they want to make the choice to be sex workers, that's their choice. And I consider myself socially libertarian. So I'm all for personal choice. But how much of this really is personal choice?
I'm not sure if I'm going to agree with this point of view.
5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week.
Oh, I saw this.
I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat.
When are things going to go back to where you can work and support?
She should start an OnlyFans. Guys, I know the solution. Bro, duh!
Support your family without stressing out. I can't do this anymore.
Like, I just got a good job. I started in September, but even with that job, I still can't do shit. I can't buy anything. I can't afford the rent these days. Like, I'm just feeling...
Bro, girls have been fucking to protect their family or to like, why do you think, like, so this is what happened a lot, is like, they've been doing this forever. There's nothing new about this at all. Girls, that's why they like, there's like, these like girls that are single moms and are trying to find a guy that's going to take care of their kids. Like, this is just the way it goes. It's biology, man. So all this career, yeah, kill the kid. Well, the funny thing is that in a lot of cases, the new guys do that. Maybe funny wasn't the word I should use for that. But the interesting thing about it, yeah, they do it all the time. Monkeys, gorillas do this. Wild animals, yeah. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone.
So much despair, and
I don't think that there's coercion, like there's social coercion to do stuff like this, but based off of this same logic, you could say there's social coercion to sell drugs to kids too. I don't like the idea that women taking advantage of OnlyFans is somehow like they're being put upon by society. The reality is that women have this avenue that exists that men don't even have access to at all. Like, there's plenty of men that have these exact same problems. False equivalence? Yeah, I think so too.
Really, like, really positive, but I'm just, like, how is everyone else, and are you okay? Because the answer's probably no.
We're gonna just start an OnlyFans. In 48 hours, how much money did you make?
48 hours.
Oh my God.
I made a little over $1 million.
I thought this one was especially sick. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh my God.
I made a little over $1 million.
Yeah. So the sick thing about this one was that she did this whenever she turned 18, and that's whenever she made the most money. You want to put the pieces together? Man. And she was, you know, known in media whenever she was younger, too. That's crazy. Spawn camping? I haven't heard that one before. That's new.
An ass. Why wasn't I born a girl? Their lives are on rookie. I wish I was a girl to make easy money like that. Women have it so easy, it's not even funny. There is a lie perpetuated by people on the internet that OnlyFans is this get-rich-quick scheme, but that couldn't be further from the truth.
It's not.
The average
yeah,
woman
she's gonna show. Yeah.
on OnlyFans only makes $180 a
Look
month,
at that.
and that's average. Most are making way
Yeah,
less.
so the reason for that is because, again, I want to go back to my argument earlier that if you're fat and ugly, people don't want to pay money for pictures of you. So there's a lot of girls that do OnlyFans that are ugly, and so they don't make a lot of money. Now, some girls that are really hot do make a lot of money, but it's not really just because they're a girl, it's because they're also really hot. And that's the more important part.
Than that. But this get-rich-quick lie is not being sold by only random people on the internet. It's also being sold by OnlyFans itself. Kiss that 99-cent ramen goodbye and say hello to endless opportunities on OnlyFans.
Wow.
This is just the...
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, I bet that works. It's the personality that makes them so much money. The best ones hustle your emotions. You're right. You're absolutely right about that. The market's super saturated, so it's even harder to get noticed. So what are ugly girls going to do that they also get discriminated on the work market? It's a double L on life. What's the solution? There is no solution. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. There's no moral to be told. There's no, lesson to be learned. There's no, happy ending. There's just sadness of pain. You see an animal that breaks its leg and then it dies. Like, that's the end of the story. There's not an episode 2. That's it. That's it. Sometimes things suck, man. Yeah, it's a sick little gazelle at the back of the pack. Yeah, bro, and that's the one the lions eat. Yeah, no respawn. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. So I've always thought that being a hot girl is probably easier than being a hot guy. But being an ugly girl is probably harder than being an ugly guy. I'm a hot girl is probably easier than being a hot guy. But being an ugly girl is probably harder than being an ugly guy. I've never been a girl before. Actually, that's not true. Remember, I did that one stream. But besides that, that's like my read on it. Debatable again? Absolutely debatable. This is just my read on it. I'm just talking, really.
2023 version of, hey lady, I see you're having financial problems.
Yeah.
Say, can you dance? I have a couple of friends who are pretty famous OnlyFans models, and they've disclosed to me that allegedly people who work for OnlyFans have approached them, telling them to post about how much money they made or show off expensive things they bought with money they made by being an OnlyFans model in order to recruit more women to be OnlyFans models. This includes showing off handbags, expensive clothes, makeup, cars, and even houses. Like, I just bought my first
There it is.
house thanks to OnlyFans. It's disgusting to do this in general, but especially disgusting to do this during a housing crisis. It's just evil. It's incredibly, incredibly rare you can make a living doing this, just like YouTube. And I could not imagine if YouTube sold itself like, tired of being poor? Become a YouTuber. Like, what? Now, why would they do this? Why would OnlyFans manipulate and entice poor, desperate people like this? Oh, that's why. Of course.
I really need to, bro. I need to start working harder. I need to figure something else out.
It is. That's always why.
Yeah.
In a way, we are all selling our bodies to labor. We are all whether you work at a fast food place.
It's crazy to think that that guy is the biggest pimp of all time in all history. He is the biggest pimp.
You're a lawyer.
That's
or a
nuts.
YouTuber. You're a we're all for capital. At the end of the day, it's a job. These Twitch girls, these OnlyFans girls, they're getting their bag. Like me, like you, like everyone else. And I guarantee you, a lot of the men who about OnlyFans models would do it instantly if they could. You would all be parents. And why wouldn't you? Go to college and go 100K in debt for a useless degree?
Well, you would, because after these girls get too old that people don't want to pay pictures for them anymore, then they don't have any workable skills and the rest of their life is awful. I'm old enough now, unfortunately, to have seen girls that I grow up with have that happen. Fuck, yeah, Cody's in chat. Yeah, but we grew up together, bro. Like, I go on Facebook, I see some of these girls, man, and it's like, god damn. These are the middle-aged moms now posting Minion memes, and I went to high school with this bitch. Like, oh my god, I gotta lay down. Jesus. She got 3 kids and 4 baby daddies. And the funny thing, Cody, is you know the exact girl that I'm talking about. You know the exact one that, let's be honest, all of us simped for her. She was so hot. Yep, absolutely. Yep. God, fuck, man. Everyone, yes. Everyone, absolutely.
That won't get you a job. Or this. Why wouldn't you? Break your back and spirit working a 9 to 5 that you absolutely hate and get no satisfaction from. Or this. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? And that, for the modern woman, is probably the most black-pilling question right now. Why wouldn't you?
Why
get
not?
exploited or exploit yourself? So is it really the Twitch thought's fault? Taking advantage of a market to make it in an overwhelmingly male-dominated field? Is it really her fault for trying to survive in this unforgiving world, in a society that will
Of course, everything's always your fault because you're doing it. Is there a reason that they do it that's outside of themselves? Yes. Are there explanations that explain their intent? Yes. But is it their fault? Yes, it is. They did it. Never take somebody's autonomy away from them.
Exploit and degrade her anyway.
And you know she's going to say this.
Is it really her fault? Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
yes, it is.
Like,
get off Twitch.
Yeah.
It isn't for porn. The end. So that was that video. I have been wanting to talk about this subject for years now. What do you guys think about this? Do you also feel that desensitization feeling I'm talking about? And how old were you when you first found this kind of stuff? Has it affected your life or relationships at all? But who cares about relationships? Who cares about real women when we can have an AI girlfriend? Am I right?
That's right.
Anyway, I will see you guys soon with a new video, possibly about that. New video for Valentine's Day. Okay, bye!
I think that I would really appreciate if more people like, and like maybe it's because like I'm really into Twitch and so like I understand it pretty well, but like it seems like most people have a lot of misconceptions about Twitch that I feel like it's almost like popular to be unaware of that. I think she brings up a lot of good points. The video, yeah, it's a good video. The truth is, like, if you look at a lot of these people that are like insulting her, they're like really fucking stupid. Like these people are just the dumbest people ever. I don't agree with everything she says, making content, so it's good. I don't have a, like, you know, I say this all the time, right? I mean, if somebody's making content, I actually appreciate videos that I disagree with more than videos that I don't, because they're interesting to me. Yeah, so I mean, I've known about this girl for like fucking a long time, right? I mean, she was really popular on like 4chan like 10 years ago. That's how I know. And so most of the people insulting her, assuming that she's a fat, lonely guy, don't know she's a married woman. Well, yeah, and like that's the insult, right? And the reason why these girls insult people by saying that they're ugly or they're, you know, they don't have a boyfriend is because the only method of currency that they understand is sex. And so that's why they use it as an insult. It's because that's their only form of self-value. I don't believe in the way she said it, but I believe in the end goal, moderate the porn. I think you should get the kids off the platforms. I think that's really that's the disease. This is a symptom. I don't care about this. And if you want to look at symptoms, this is like number 75, and numbers 1 through 50 are 1,000 times worse. So I'm not going to have any sort of energy for like banning these girls off of Twitch in like a real way, because I just feel like there's so many other things that are 1,000 times worse. So that's generally what I think. So you know, like games kid, too bad. Yeah, there you go. And parents need to be parents. There's never going to be a way that you can solve that better than the parents can. That's it. And there's the video right there. Make sure to give it a like. This is great. In Utah, they added real age verifications for kids. Yeah, I saw that. I wonder, so what do you think would happen if you asked a 12-year-old in Utah if he's able to access porn or not? You ask a 12-year-old guy that lives in that state, what do you think they'd be able to do? Do you think they're able to do it? I bet they are. I fucking bet they are. Careful? Yeah, I mean, like, again, everybody always winces at this kind of stuff because it's like, oh, yeah, I mean, obviously you probably shouldn't ask kids if they're looking at porn, right? It's fucking weird. But, like, I just want to live in reality here, okay? Like, these laws probably don't do a whole lot, but at least they exist. It's the truth. Yeah, it's still the truth. I just want to live in reality. That's all I'm asking.